Hello, my name is Chamaka Izurim, and we are members of Group 16 Insurance Department. And we're presenting the topic, Developing a Business Message, the Writing Process. And I'll be walking you through the definition of a business message. A business message is a way a business communicates or interacts among themselves or with their clients. A business message helps to update the customer and to strengthen the relationship between a business and its customers. A good and effective business message is friendly, well-crafted, and conversational enough to make the recipients feel at ease. With a good business message, a business can communicate effectively with their customers without even being face-to-face with them.
What is business writing? Business writing is a purposeful piece of writing that conveys relevant information to the reader in a clear, concise, and effective manner. Examples of business writing include client proposal, reports, memos, emails, notices, etc. A good business writing must be instructional, persuasive, and transactional. It is important to learn effective ways to strengthen an organization's business writing skills in order to succeed.
I'll be talking about the audience for business message. In a business settings, the typical target audience can be divided into two. We have the primary audience and the secondary audience. The primary audience are those that receive the information or the message directly. Now, the primary audience are referred to as the stakeholders in the business. The stakeholders are those that are being concerned directly with the message being passed in an organization. Examples of stakeholders in a business are the shareholders, the business owner, the employees. They are recognized as the decision makers in a business. The secondary audience are not the real stakeholders of a business. They are not being affected by the messages that are being passed, and they are the category of people that still want or need the messages that are being passed.
The writing process of developing business message. This process covers three stages, namely the planning stage, the writing stage, and the complete stage. The planning stage, this is the first step in the writing process. It is a key step which enables the writer to really think about the final product, how it will be created and evaluated. This stage can also be referred to as the pre-writing stage. There are some steps in the planning stage, and they include the following: analyze the situation, gather information, select the right medium, organize the information. Analyze the information. This step is very significant and must not be skipped. In this step, the writer defines the reason or purpose for writing and develop an audience profile. If the writer does not understand the writing objective, it may be difficult for him or her to fully grasp the audience he or she is writing for. In the end, the writer crafts a message that does not get a response or fails to be noticed. The second step is gather information. This step determines the need of the audience and gather the information required to satisfy those needs. This step helps to focus the attention on the important parts of the message. Now, the next step is to select the right medium. Here, the writer determines the best medium for communicating the message. This could be through email, printed letters, etc. He or she should find the appropriate channel required to communicate with the audience. Otherwise, the intended message will not get to those that need it, which is the audience. The final step for planning stage is to organize the information. After the first three steps have been done, the next is to organize those ideas. It is important to organize content into an outline, define the main communication idea, and decide on the direct or indirect approach of communicating the message. It is important to make a list of points to gain an overview of the material, connect the point, and to identify the main points.
In developing business message, one of the stage is the writing stage. And this stage involves composing the message and adapting to the audience. In this stage, the first draft doesn't have to be perfect and is not a stage to proofread in the writing stage. In the writing stage, the writer is only concerned about his or her own writing. And one of the short steps in the writing stage is 1, to compose the message, 2, to adapt to its audience. To compose the message is a step that involves choosing strong words that create useful sentences and coherent paragraphs. When you are composing the message, it's very important to select the words that impart the message and the reader, and to also ensure that abstract and concrete ideas in the writing are differentiated and jargons are eliminated. What do we mean by jargons? We have business jargons, and an example is, instead of saying we should play on a safe side, we're supposed to say we should take precautions or safety. The next sub-step in the writing stage is adapt to the audience. In this step, it's important to connect to the audience when writing. In other words, this means that the writer needs to adapt to the need of the audience, and the writer needs to be strategic in this stage. In this step, the writer introduces the you in quote attitude. An example of you in quote attitude is, instead of saying we offer MP3 player, you're supposed to write select your MP3 player. Another thing that the writer introduced is the standard of etiquette, the emphasis of positive, the using bias-free language. The adapt to the audience is an audience-centered approach to communicating that involves understanding and respecting the audience and trying to get the message across meaningfully. In this step, it is very crucial to build a strong relationship with the audience by establishing credibility. In adapting to the audience, conversational tone, plain English, and appropriate voice is used to deliver the message. Once this is done, the next step is to compose the message.
Complete stage. This is the last stage of the writing process. This stage ensures that what the writer has written is efficient and effective.
This stage involves revision, produce the message, proofread the message, and distribute the message. On revision, a great way to evaluate if the content is readable is by answering some of these following questions.
Number 1, is the information provided accurate? Number 2, does the audience find information relevant?
Number 3, is there enough information to satisfy the audience's need? Number 4, is there a good balance of information that includes background information and details? After revision, the next step is produce the message.
While preparing your message, it is important to format it based on the communication channel your audience will use to receive it. Therefore, when producing the message, the format used should be considered. Examples: digital or analog, visuals, font, etc. The next step is proofread the message. This is the review part for corrections of errors. These are a few tips to proofreading. Number 1, read the message several times, focusing on different spots with each pass. Number 2, check your document for spelling errors by reading it backwards. Number 3, set the document aside after reviewing it the first time and return to it a few hours or a day later. Fresh eyes will help to pick out any mistake that might have been overlooked on the first review. Number 4, double check important acts and figures for accuracy or typographical errors. Number 5, avoid rushing through the editing step.
Final step, distribute the message. Here, the cost of delivery,
Convenience of delivery, timing and concentration of security and privacy related challenges must be properly analyzed.
To buttress what my colleagues have said, for a written business message to be communicated, it must be in writing. Yes, because it is a formal type of communication. Before writing a business message effectively, an idea is created. A business idea basically is the reason for the establishment of a business. The crux of the matter here is a business message must be learned in effective ways so that a business or an organization is able to succeed in achieving its objectives.
In conclusion, business goal is to communicate information clearly, effectively, efficiently, accurately, and generate business writing ideas to the audience. Business writing goal can either be internal, that is creating idea for workforce, or external, creating idea for the audience or for the customer or for the client. Business writing skills is very essential in the workforce, that is to create business information to the workforce or for decision making in the business.
We've come to the end of the presentation. I hope we've been able to enlighten you on how to develop a business message. Thanks so much for listening.